Mannimarco, King of Worms, by Horicles. O sacred isle Ateum, where rosy light infuses air, over towers and through flowers, gentle breezes flow, softly sloping green-kissed cliffs to crashing foam below. Always springtide afternoon, house within its border, this mystic, mist-protected poem of the Psijic order. Those counselors of kings, cautious, wise, and fair. 10 years and 30 since the mighty remnants fell. Two brilliant students studied within the Psijic's fold. One's heart was light and warm, the other dark and cold. The madder ladder, Mannimarco, whirled in a deathly dance, his soul and bones and worms, the way of the necromancer. Entrapping and enslaving souls, he cast a wicked spell. The former, Galerian, had magic bold and bright as day. He confronted Mannimarco beneath Great Capora Tower, saying, "Your wicked mysticism is no way to wield your power. Bringing horror to the spirit world, your studies must cease." Mannimarco scoffed, hating well the ways of life and peace, and returned to his dark artistry, his pains, death, and decay. O sacred isle Ateum, how slow to perceive the threat! When the ghastly truth revealed, how weak the punishment! The ghoulish Mannimarco from the Isle of the Wise was sent. To the mainland dawns beauty, more death and souls to reap. We have found a wolf and sent the beast to flocks of sheep. Galerian told his masters, a terror on Tamriel has set. Speak no more of him, the sage cloaks of grey did say. 'Twas not the first time Galerian thought his masters callous, unconcerned for men and mirror, aloof in their island palace. 'Twas not the first time Galerian thought 'twas time to build a new order to bring true magic to all, a mighty mages guild. But 'twas the time he left, at last, fair Ateum's azure bay. Oh, but sung we have of Venice Galerian many times before, how cast he off the Psijic's chains, bringing magic to the land. Throughout the years he saw the touch of Mannimarco's hand. Through Tamriel's deserts, forest, towns, mountains and seas, the dark grip stretching out, growing like some dreaded disease. By his dark necromancers, collecting cursed artifacts of yore. They brought to him these tools, mad wizards and witches, and brought blood-tainted herbs and oils to his cave of sin. Sweet Akaviri poison, dust from saints, sheaths of human skin. Toadstools, roots, and much more cluttered his alchemical shelf. Like a spider in his web, he sucked all the power into himself. Mannimarco, Worm King, world's first of the undying liches. Corruption on corruption, till the rot sunk to his very core. Though he kept the name Mannimarco, his body and his mind were but a living, moving corpse as he left humanity behind. The blood in his veins became instead a poison acid stew. His power in his life increased as his fell collection grew. Mightiest were these artifacts, long cursed since days of yore. They say Galerian left the guild, calling it a morass, but untruth is a powerful stream polluting the river of time. Galerian beheld Mannimarco's rise through powers sublime. To his mages and lamp knights, before my last breath, face I must the tyranny of worms, and kill at last undeath. He led them north to cursed lands, to a mountain pass. Oh, those who survived the battle say its like was never seen. Armored with magicka, armed with enscrolled sword and axe, Galerian cried, echoing, "Worm King, surrender your artifacts, and their power to me, and you shall live as befits the dead." A hollow laugh answered, "You die first," Mannimarco said. The mage army then clashed with the unholy force obscene. Imagine waves of fire and frost, and the mountain shivers. Picture lightning arching forth, crackling in a dragon's sigh. Like leaves, the battle mages fly to rain down from the sky. At the necromancer's call, corpses burst from earth to fight, to be shattered into nothingness with a flood of holy light. A maelstrom of energy unleashed, blood cascades in rivers. Like a thunderburst in blue skies or a lion's sudden roar. Like a sharp razor steering over delicate embroidered lace. So at a touch did Galarian shake the mountain to its base. The deathly horde fell fatally, but heeding their dying cries, from the depth the thing they called Worm King did rise. Nirn itself did scream, and the mages and necromancers war. His eyes burning dark fire, he opened his toothless maw, vomiting darkness with each exhalation of his breath. All sucking in the fetid air felt the icy touch of death. In the skies above the mountain, darkness overcame pale. Then Mannimarco, Worm King, felt his dismal powers fail. The artifacts of death pulled from his putrid skeletal claw. 1,000 good and evil perished then, history confirms. Among, alas, Venice Galarian, he who showed the way. It seemed once that Mannimarco had truly died that day. Scattered seemed the necromancers, wicked, ghastly fools. Back to the Mages Guild, victors kept the accursed tools. Of him, living still in undeath, Mannimarco, King of Worms. Children, listen as the shadows cross your sleeping hutch, and the village sleeps away, street emptied of the crowds, and the moons to balefully glare through the nightly clouds. And the graveyard's people rest, we hope, in eternal sleep. Listen, and you'll hear the whispered tap of the footsteps creep. Then pray you'll never feel the Worm King's awful touch.